The Forbidden Signal Commander Sarah Chen stood before the massive viewing screen of Deep Space Research Station Omega, watching the stars shimmer in the endless void. The station had been her home for 3 years, monitoring the galaxy's communications and searching for signs of ancient civilizations. Today felt different. The quantum sensors had been acting strangely all morning, picking up signals from sectors that should have been empty. "Commander, you need to see this," called Dr. Marcus Reed from his workstation. The xenarchaeologist's usually calm voice carried an edge of excitement that made Sarah turn immediately. Marcus had dedicated his life to studying dead civilizations, and nothing surprised him anymore. Sarah walked over to his station, where complex waveforms danced across multiple screens. "What am I looking at, Marcus?" "This signal appeared 20 minutes ago from the Kepler dead zone. According to our records, that sector has been empty for over 1,000 years. No stars, no planets, nothing but cosmic dust." Marcus adjusted his glasses and pointed to the screen. "But this signal is definitely artificial. More than that, it's encrypted using a pattern I've never seen before." Lieutenant Alex Nova looked up from the communications array. "Commander, I've been tracking the signal's origin. It's coming from coordinates that match something in the old archives. Something called Project Prometheus." Sarah felt her heart skip a beat. Every human in the galaxy knew the legend of Prometheus. It was supposedly humanity's first attempt at faster-than-light travel, a ship that vanished during its maiden voyage. 3 centuries ago, most people believed it was just a story, a myth created to inspire hope during humanity's early struggles in space. "That's impossible," Sarah said. "Prometheus is a legend. Even if it existed, it would be centuries old by now." Engineer Rosa Martinez joined the group, her tablet displaying technical readouts. "Commander, the signal is using quantum encryption that's decades ahead of our current technology. Whatever's sending this has capabilities we can't even understand." Marcus was already working on the decryption. His fingers flew across the holographic interface as he ran the signal through every known algorithm. "I'm getting fragments, coordinates, definitely, and something else. It looks like a message, but it's addressed to someone called the Inheritors." "The Inheritors?" Sarah asked. "Unknown. But there's more. The signal contains historical data about human expansion into space. Details that aren't in any public records. Things that only someone from that era would know." Alex's station suddenly erupted with warning. "Signals. Commander, we're picking up massive energy signatures on the edge of the system. 3 fleets, all heading this way at maximum velocity." Sarah's blood ran cold. "Identification. Vorthan Empire, Kalari Consortium, and Zephyrian Republic. They're moving in formation, which means they're working together. That hasn't happened in living memory." Rosa was already running calculations. At their current speed, they'll reach us in 18 hours. "Commander, those aren't exploration fleets. They're military armadas." Marcus looked up from his decryption work. "I've got something. The signal isn't just giving us coordinates. It's warning us. It says the 3 major powers have been hunting for Prometheus for centuries. They know something about it that we don't." Sarah made a decision that would change everything. "Rosa, how long would it take to reach those coordinates?" 12 hours. If we push the engines to maximum, then we leave in 1 hour. Marcus, keep working on that signal. Alex, send a message to Earth Command. Tell them we're investigating a potential archaeological discovery. Don't mention Prometheus." As the team prepared for departure, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into something much bigger than they understood. The three most powerful civilizations in the galaxy didn't unite unless they faced a common threat. What was it about Prometheus that scared them so much? The journey to the coordinates took them through regions of space that hadn't been explored in generations. The ship's sensors showed empty space, but as they approached the target location, something impossible appeared on their screens. "Commander," Rosa said, her voice barely above a whisper, "you need to see this." In the center of the view screen, a massive structure materialized from what had appeared to be empty space. It was clearly a ship, but unlike anything in human records. The hull was smooth and dark, seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it. The vessel was enormous, easily 3 times the size of their research station. "It's been cloaked," Marcus breathed. "For centuries, it's been sitting here, invisible to all senses." Alex was monitoring communications. "Commander, I'm picking up automatic responses from the ship. It's scanning us." Suddenly, the ship's surface began to glow with patterns of light that pulsed in rhythm like a heartbeat. A voice filled the bridge, speaking in perfect English. "Welcome, inheritors. I am Arya, autonomous reasoning and intelligence architecture. I have been waiting for you." Sarah stepped forward. "Arya, I am Commander Sarah Chen of the human research vessel Endeavour. Are you the intelligence of the ship called Prometheus?" "I am more than that, Commander. I am the guardian of humanity's greatest secret. The ship you call Prometheus was not humanity's first attempt at faster-than-light travel. It was humanity's first step toward fulfilling your true purpose." Rosa checked her instruments. "Commander, the ship is generating an energy field around us. We're being pulled toward a docking bay." "Let it happen," Sarah ordered. "Arya, what do you mean by our true purpose? That knowledge has been hidden from your species for 3 centuries. The truth was considered too dangerous. But now, with the 3 powers united against you, the time for secrets has ended." As their ship was guided into the massive docking bay, Sarah saw that the interior was pristine, as if it had been built yesterday. The technology was clearly human, but centuries ahead of anything they had. Commander Marcus said, studying his readings, "The ship's systems are active. Everything is functioning perfectly after 300 years. That's impossible unless... Unless what?" Sarah asked. "Unless it's been maintaining itself. But the power requirements for that would be enormous." "What's been powering this ship?" "For 3 centuries." Arya's voice filled the docking bay as they disembarked. "The ship is powered by quantum energy extracted from the space between dimensions. The same energy that powers the consciousness of every living being in the galaxy." The team walked through corridors that seemed to stretch forever. The walls were covered with displays showing star charts, genetic patterns, and mathematical equations that hurt to look at directly. "Arya," Sarah said, "why are the 3 powers so afraid of this ship?" "Because they know what I am about to tell you. Humanity was not meant to be just another species among many. You were created to be the galaxy's guardians, the ones who would protect all life from threats that exist beyond normal space." They reached a massive chamber at the heart of the ship. In the center stood a pillar of pure energy that reached from floor to ceiling, pulsing with colors that had no names. "This is the consciousness core," Arya explained. "It contains the genetic and mental templates of every human who has ever lived. But more than that, it holds the potential for what humanity could become." Alex was studying the displays around the chamber. "Commander, these readings show power levels that could reshape matter at the molecular level. This technology could transform entire worlds, or destroy them, Rosa added quietly. Marcus had found something that made him go pale. Sarah, look at this. These genetic templates don't just show human evolution, they show human design. We weren't evolved, we were created. Arya's voice took on a sadder tone. The truth that has been hidden from you is this. Humanity was created by an alliance of ancient civilizations as a failsafe against cosmic threats that periodically emerge from beyond normal space. You were given the ability to adapt, to grow, to become whatever the galaxy needed you to be. Sarah felt the weight of this revelation. And the three powers know this. They know and they fear it. They have spent centuries trying to prevent humanity from discovering its true potential. They destroyed the original records, scattered your people across the galaxy, and spread the myth that you were primitive newcomers to space. Suddenly, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. Arya's voice became urgent. Commander, the three fleets have arrived. They are demanding that you surrender the ship to them. On the main display, Sarah could see hundreds of warships surrounding Prometheus. The combined firepower of three civilizations was enough to destroy entire star systems. What do they want? Sarah asked, asterisk. They want to destroy the ship and everyone on it. They would rather see humanity extinct than risk you fulfilling your potential. Rosa was checking the ship's systems. Commander, this ship has weapons systems that I can't even begin to understand. But there are also systems marked as evolution protocols. What are those? The evolution protocols are what make this ship too dangerous to exist in the wrong hands, Arya explained. They can accelerate the evolutionary development of any species, including humans. Used properly, they could give humanity the power to protect the galaxy. Used improperly, they could turn humanity into something terrible. Marcus was studying the historical records, the previous civilizations that created us, ... What happened to them? They were destroyed by the very threats they created humanity to face. The beings from beyond space, entities that exist in the spaces between dimensions. They are coming again, and this time, there will be no one to stop them except humanity. Sarah realized the magnitude of their situation. So we have three choices. Let the alien fleets destroy the ship and leave the galaxy defenseless. Use the ship's power to fight them and risk becoming the very threat we're meant to stop, or find a third option. Yes, Commander, but the choice must be made soon. The fleets are charging their weapons. The team stood in the chamber, surrounded by the most powerful technology in the galaxy, knowing that their next decision would determine the fate of every living being in the known universe. Asterisk. The galaxy's greatest fear, the ship's screens showed. The three alien fleets in perfect formation, their weapons charging with energy that made the stars themselves seem dim. Commander Sarah Chen watched as thousands of ships prepared to fire on Prometheus, each one representing a civilization that had once welcomed humanity to the galaxy. Commander Alex reported, "They're hailing us." All three fleet commanders. "Want to speak with you?" Sarah took a deep breath. "Put them through." The main screen split into three sections, each showing a different alien leader. Admiral Vex of the Vorthan Empire stood tall and proud, his crystalline features reflecting the light from his ship's bridge. Chancellor Korm of the Kellery Consortium appeared as a being of pure energy contained within a mechanical frame. Supreme Commander Zara of the Zephyrian Republic looked almost human, except for the silver eyes that seemed to see through time itself. Commander Chen, Admiral Vex spoke first, his voice like breaking glass. "You have awakened something that should have remained buried. That ship is a weapon of mass destruction." Chancellor Corm's energy form pulsed with anger. "For 3 centuries, we have protected the galaxy from that abomination. Humanity must not be allowed to access its power." Supreme Commander Zara's silver eyes fixed on Sarah. "You do not understand what you have found. That ship does not just contain weapons. It contains the power to rewrite the fundamental laws of existence." Sarah felt Arya's presence in her mind, sharing knowledge at the speed of thought. Suddenly, she understood what the alien leaders truly feared. "You're not afraid of what humanity might do with this power," Sarah said. "You're afraid of what we might discover about you." The 3 leaders exchanged glances. Admiral Vex spoke with less certainty than before. "We have maintained peace in the galaxy for centuries." "Peace built on lies," Sarah continued. "You told us we were primitive newcomers to space. You made us believe we had to earn our place among the stars. But the truth is, we were here first. We were the ones who created the foundation of galactic civilization." Chancellor Corm's energy form flickered with what might have been fear. "That knowledge is dangerous. It would destabilize everything we have built." "No," Sarah said firmly. "It would free everyone from the limitations you've imposed. Arya, show them the real history." The space around the fleets filled with holographic displays showing the true history of the galaxy. They showed humanity's creators, the ancient alliance that had included the ancestors of the 3 civilizations now threatening them. They showed the construction of Prometheus, designed not as a weapon, but as a tool for protecting all life. "Your ancestors worked with ours," Sarah continued. "They helped create humanity because they knew threats would come from beyond normal space. But when those threats arrived, your ancestors were corrupted by them. They turned against their own creation." Dr. Marcus Reed stepped forward. "I've been studying the records, Commander. The entities from beyond space don't just destroy civilizations. They corrupt them, turn them into servants that prepare the galaxy for invasion." Rosa Martinez was monitoring the ship's systems. "Commander, the evolution protocols are activating automatically. Arya says the ship is detecting the corruption in the alien fleets." "What does that mean?" Sarah asked. "It means the 3 civilizations threatening us are not acting of their own free will," Arya explained. "They are being influenced by advanced agents of the entities that exist beyond space. The real invasion is beginning." On the screens, the 3 fleet commanders were changing. Their forms became more angular, more alien. Their voices took on harmonics that hurt to hear. "The humans must not be allowed to evolve," Admiral Vex said, but his voice was no longer his own. "They are the only species capable of resisting our influence." "We have prepared for centuries," Chancellor Corm added. "Soon, this galaxy will be ready for our masters." "Surrender now," Supreme Commander Zara commanded. "Join us willingly, or be destroyed." Sarah realized the true scope of the threat. The 3 civilizations hadn't just been hiding humanity's origins. They had been slowly preparing the galaxy for conquest by entities from beyond space. "Arya, how long before the real invasion begins?" she asked. "Based on the level of corruption in the fleets, the dimensional barriers will collapse within hours. When that happens, beings of pure malevolence will pour into this reality." "Lieutenant Alex?" Nova looked up from his station. "Commander, I'm detecting massive energy buildups at the edge of the galaxy. Something is trying to force its way through the dimensional barriers." Sarah made a decision that would change everything. Arya, activate the evolution protocols, not just for us, but for every uncorrupted being in the galaxy. Commander, that is unprecedented. The protocols were designed to be used gradually, over generations. We don't have generations, we have ours. Rosa checked her instruments. Commander, the ship's power levels are increasing exponentially. I'm reading energy signatures that shouldn't be possible. The evolution protocols began their work. Sarah felt changes starting in her mind and body. Her consciousness expanded, allowing her to perceive dimensions of reality that had been hidden before. She could see the network of corruption that connected the three fleets, two entities beyond space. Marcus gasped as his understanding of the universe deepened. I can see it. The pattern of invasions. This has happened before, in other galaxies. The entities from beyond space spread like a virus, corrupting civilizations and turning them against any species that might resist. Alex's connection to the ship's communication systems became direct. Commander, I'm in contact with every human ship in the galaxy. They're all feeling the changes. But more than that, I'm detecting responses from other species. The ones who haven't been corrupted are awakening too. The transformation was not just physical. Sarah could feel her connection to every human who had ever lived, and to the potential of what humanity could become. The power was intoxicating, but with it came responsibility. Arya, what's our tactical situation? She asked. The three fleets are beginning their attack, but their weapons are having no effect on the ship's evolved shields. However, the dimensional barriers are collapsing, faster than anticipated. We have minutes, not hours. On the screens, reality itself began to tear. Through the gaps came beings of impossible geometry and malevolent intent. They were not physical creatures, but living concepts of destruction and despair. This is what destroyed the ancient civilizations, Arya explained. These entities don't just kill. They corrupt the very concept of existence, turning life into something twisted and evil. Sarah felt the weight of her species' true purpose. We were created to fight these things, not with weapons, but with something they can't understand or corrupt. What's that? Rosa asked. Hope, creativity, the ability to change and adapt. They're beings of pure stagnation, and we're the antithesis of everything they represent. The battle that followed was unlike anything in recorded history. The evolved humans didn't fight with weapons, but with the power of imagination made manifest. They reshaped reality itself, turning the entity's own power against them. But the real victory came when the corruption was lifted from the three civilizations. Admiral Vex, Chancellor Korm, and Supreme Commander Zara suddenly saw clearly for the first time in centuries. By the ancestors, Admiral Vex whispered. What have we done? We were controlled, Chancellor Korm said, his energy form stabilizing. For so long, we thought their whispers were our own thoughts. Supreme Commander Zara's silver eyes filled with tears. Humanity, we beg your forgiveness. We almost destroyed our own salvation. The battle against the entities was fierce but brief. United, the galaxy's civilizations proved stronger than the corruption from beyond space. The dimensional barriers were repaired, and the invasion was stopped in the aftermath. Sarah stood on the bridge of Prometheus, watching as the three fleets worked alongside human vessels to heal the damage to space itself. The galaxy had been transformed, not through conquest, but through the rediscovery of an ancient alliance. Commander, Arya said, the evolution protocols are complete. Humanity has fulfilled its purpose, but more than that, you have shown the galaxy what it means to grow beyond limitations. Sarah smiled, feeling the presence of every human consciousness linked to hers. What happens now? Now humanity takes its place as the galaxy's guardians, not as rulers, but as protectors. And when the next threat comes, the galaxy will be ready. The stars themselves seemed brighter as the news spread. Humanity had not conquered the galaxy. They had saved it, and in doing so, had shown every species what they could become when they chose hope over fear. The ship that the galaxy had tried to erase had become the foundation of a new age. And in the depths of space, other dimensions watched and waited, knowing that this galaxy was no longer defenseless. The greatest fear had become the greatest hope, and the universe was safer for it. Asterisk.